Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Yin Yang the Podcast, episode 14. Tonight, we are going to be live streaming to YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Riverside. You should see all of them come through right now. And we're doing something a little bit different this week. So this week, being that the new year is so close, we have like 3 weeks and it's a whole new year. Sheena and I talked, and we really want to prepare everybody for strategies for effective wealth building. So that's kind of Sheena's thing. Ying's not, I'm more of a hippie, so, if you can't tell, I just came home from a cruise. I went out to Caicos and Amber Cove, Dominican Republic. It was
You look
phenomenal.
super cute.
Thanks. Yeah, I got my hair braided out on the beach there. It took them like 20 minutes to just braid it. It was super cool. But it's really important to us that you have the tools and resources you need. So tonight we're doing something a little bit different. I'm going to lay low. I'm going to ask a few questions here and there, but Sheena's going to talk to y'all about some really important things. Of course, before we start, we're going to play that disclosure for y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and play that now so that we have it out. One
Yin
moment.
Yang the podcast does not own rights to any background music or noise you may hear. This podcast is completely opinion-based and may include adult content, adult language, and verbiage not suitable for any underage viewers. Information found in this podcast may not contain exact accuracy as it is opinion-based. Please listen at your own risk.
All right. Now, with that being said, I just want to remind people that if you have any questions throughout this, make sure that you put the questions either on Riverside or on Facebook, as I do not live answer questions on YouTube or Twitch. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Miss Sheena. Go ahead and do your thing, Yang.
Hello, everyone. Good. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all have to bear with me. I am feeling a little under the weather, but I am going to make it through. But I'm glad everybody is doing good tonight. I'm going to talk to y'all a little bit about my stable wealth, and what I do there with my business. It's a wealth building, basically wealth management and financial services. Um, Tonight we're going to talk about a little bit about strategies for effective wealth building, because let's talk about it. Let's be honest, generational wealth is very important. It's one of those topics that need to be prioritized at the forefront, so you can set your family up so they won't have to be struggling financially, because many of us nowadays struggle in all aspects of their life. So finances is not one of those areas we want to continue to struggle. So let's talk about some strategies, some tips and bits on saving and some budgeting. So I'm just gonna dive right on in. The first part I want to talk to y'all about is budgeting and saving. Because creating a personal budget plan is fundamental. It's very important when you have a saving, a budget plan in place, so you can stay focused on your goals. So really, you can't really achieve any goals or hit your goals if you don't have that plan in place. So you don't want to go in there without an outline of what you want to do. Like, your goals need to be identified. You need to have a plan on how you're going to get those goals. So that's first creating a personal budget plan, so you can know exactly where you're going to go down that road, what your end result is going to be, and what you're working towards. So when you keep that in mind, when you're making your goals and you're planning out your budget and what you want to save to, you want to start by gathering the information on, how much you make, your income, your salary, your bonuses. Tie all of that in to your regular income and see how much, and set that budget, about how much you're going to put up to savings out of that budget. You want to look at all of your bills, like what you have to pay, your monthly bills, and see exactly what's feasible for you to put up and save and just stick with that amount. You want to do a comfortable amount that you can put up and save and not go back and touch it. And that should be a feasible amount that you can do every pay period or every month, whichever is easier for you. You want to look at those monthly expenses that's fixed, so you can just schedule that out. Your rent is paid every month. Utilities has to be paid a month, insurance, loan payments, car payments. So you can easily just schedule that out, plan that out for the whole month, what pay period, what check is coming out, so you can budget all of that out, and you can budget how much you can save, or you're going to put up in savings out of each check and just um, go through your year like that. And that's how you get to your savings goals, because at the end of the year, you can see how far you came when you see that savings account keep going up and up, because we all want to see that. Um, so some smart spending strategies, excuse me, y'all. You want to be mindful of that too with your savings plan as well. You want to make sure that you not out here, eating out every day. Look at what you're actually doing, your habits, your spending habits. This is where you want to zone in on those spending habits and see where you can cut back. I know certain foods I don't buy generic, like my cereal. I don't know about y'all, I can't buy generic cereal, but I can buy generic sugar, so I can save a couple of dollars, on that. But you do want to look at what you're spending and see what you can, cut back on. Just every bit counts to put in that savings account, even if it's like $5. Your $5, more in your savings account, and that's gonna count in the long run. So you just want to adopt those smart spending strategies, smart spending habits. I'm not saying never treat yourself, because we all need those little moments where we go out and we want to splurge, have us a little cheat day. So that's fine. Just don't do it in excessive. When we do an excessive spending like that, that's when those issues arise, when we're running through our savings and we're not saving or budgeting like we're showing like we need to be, or we're blowing our budget. So you just want to make sure avoid those impulse buys. I know we just had Black Friday. I didn't really buy enough Black Friday, but I know some of y'all, Amanda, did you spend for Black Friday?
No. I
Yeah.
avoided stores for Black Friday because I will spend, and that's one of the biggest problems. I don't want to say problems, because I am really good at saving. And I'm really good at a plan. Like, I can tell you, you brought up a really good point a minute ago about, those little things that we don't pay attention to. I used to be a Starbucks daily kind of person. And then I had gotten this app on my phone that told you like where you spend the most money and stuff like that. And it told me that I was spending like $240 a month at Starbucks.
Oh,
Which
really?
is, and that's for us, that's $7 a day on coffee, if you think about it. That's what a lot of people do. They hit that Starbucks or that Dunkin' Donuts first thing in the morning. They get that coffee, they get
Yes.
that thrill. But when I realized I was spending that kind of money, that's when I switched over. Also, I think I've been very open with everybody about that mushroom coffee. It's only $30 a month,
I just still need to try that. But
so I saved $200 a month by just switching the coffee that I drink.
yeah, that's
And the coffee's better for me. So
that is, and I think I'm gonna touch base on that later on in the podcast. But yeah, that is a good point to cut out. When you looking at what you can do, like you're going to Starbucks every day. You don't have to start making that coffee at home. You can save a whole lot of money. My thing was,
mhm.
like, when I go to my jobs, I don't like to pack lunch, and I used to eat out almost every day. When lunchtime come, I
Oh,
was like, okay,
that's
well,
so
let me
much
go.
money.
Yes, that's where my problem was just like, no. So I had to like get in my mind, like, you just need to cook something at home, pack your lunch, or, go to the grocery store, buy a snack or something, so you're not, spending excessive money on lunch every day. Because listen, that little $8, $10 lunch adds up
That
if you're
adds
doing
up.
it
It's like
three, four.
$300 a month,
Because
so
this
you do
thing,
that times 12 and boom, all of a
hmm
sudden you're spending $3,000 a year on lunch.
right? Because this thing, if you're working your a regular full time 9 to 5 Monday through Thursday, you spend $10 a day on lunch. That's $50 a week. that you could cut back and put in savings if you just, make your food at home. So some
Mhm.
things, we have to make a change when we want to follow a budget and make next change. But I should say sacrifice. We could sacrifice some things when you want to have a saving goals. When you have goals in place, you have a certain amount you want to save. Um, you have to make those sacrifices. And I actually have, I'm going to be publishing out on my website this week, or by the end of next week, I should have it out there available. It's going to be an actual savings plans. I want to get that out there to everybody before the first of the year, which is going to help you save, I believe it's $10,000 by the end of the year. So it's like every month you have it's really cool, and I'll put it out there on the website so y'all can save it. So it's like this little thing you can check off every month or every week on how much you save. So if you follow it, um, by the end of the year, you would have had saved $10,000. So I think that's pretty cool, and I'm gonna
Well,
share
yeah, and
that.
that's perfect. You said that you'd have that up before the first of the year.
Mhm.
Well, then let
Yes.
me know once it's up and I'll share it over to the podcast page for everybody there too, so that
Will
y'all have
do.
access.
Yes, yes, I think it's really cool, and I want to have it available so anybody who wants to get a jump start at the beginning of the year on saving, I think that'd be an awesome plan because it's a whole 365-day plan to save $10,000. So I'm gonna definitely have that out there on the website, and I'll let you know when it's available. Another thing I want everybody to keep in mind that about strategies for building wealth is you have to have an emergency fund, like for that rainy day. I know our grandparents used to say a little mad money or a little rainy day fund. You want to keep that in mind too when you're saving. You don't want to have savings just, in case anything comes up. Um, Prioritize your savings. You have one savings account for just emergency funds, another savings account because you want to make a big purchase, but you always need that one, those savings that you're not going to touch just in case emergency or a financial setback arrives and you have some funds. So you know how life is unpredictable, and we all been down that road where we wish we had. I know I have, and I wish I had that emergency fund and available. Just this year, when I ran into my health issues, I had a little savings up, and I had to go through that savings when I had to take off work for my surgery. So those emergency savings plans come in handy. You never know. You had those unexpected events come up. So you do want to start. It's never too early to go ahead and start building an emergency fund. You got one of those, Amanda?
Well, I was about to ask a question. So I do. And what I actually did is at the beginning of this year, I paid off like all of my small credit cards
Mhm.
so that I would have those cards to fall back on for an emergency fund and so that I could kind of be debt free this year. So kind of two in a one,
Yeah.
but I just want to say, a year ago today, even I was the kind of person where I was like one blown tire away from not being able to make bills,
Girl, I've been
and
there.
it's one of those things where if you really put in the focus, you can get that money set aside. You just really got to
Mhm.
focus on it.
You
And
gotta
and I'm
get
not gonna lie,
focused.
it's hard. It's
It is.
especially when you're used to living paycheck to paycheck and you're used to just doing whatever you want, you know, when you
You gotta
decide to
get
start
angry.
actually focusing, you do.
I
You
tell
do,
people
and it's
all the time,
hard.
before you want to change, you got to get angry. And I do that, tell the people that too over on my life coaching with my stable mind too. It's like I have a quote that I usually quote with my clients, but I tell them that if you want to make a change, you're not going to change a habit or you're not going to break a habit until you get angry. You got to get mad and sick and tired of being sick and tired of your situation or that habit for you to change it. And I'll tell them,
Mhm.
get angry, get mad. Because you're not going to change it until you're sick and tired of it. So you're not going to change the fact that you don't have a savings or emergency fund or that you're living paycheck to paycheck unless you get tired of being in that spot. You're going to get angry and mad and going to want something different bad enough that you're going to do
Right.
all the sacrifices that you need, whether it's working two jobs, whether it's cutting back on your lunch, eating lunch, or whether it's buying name brands like I had to cut back on my name brands. Some of the stuff, you can buy the store brand and it
Listen,
tastes just fine.
it can be as simple as I can tell you the biggest thing that I did to cut back on my spending. Oh, y'all
Hmm.
ignore the thunder in my background.
Oh, I was like, what is that? Is something growling?
So yeah, no, we apparently are having a storm, but I didn't even. Sorry, my throat is going. My voice is leaving too, but
Oh.
I didn't even know we were having a storm until I got off the boat and halfway here and started checking the weather. And I was like, oh man. Okay. Anyways, but I can tell you the two things that I did for myself to start creating or paying off those debts and getting those credit cards for the emergency fund. And I know this sucks to say out loud, especially if you're a girly girl like me, but I stopped paying other people to do my lashes. And I taught myself how to do the magnetic lashes.
Hmm.
Because I was spending like $80 every 3 weeks on my lashes.
Oh, yes.
And
That's
I was
not my
spending
lashes, but yeah, I get that.
and I was spending $60 every 3 weeks on getting my nails done.
Oh, I was about to say that was
So
me with the
that's
nails.
$140 every 3 weeks I was spending just to feel better about myself.
Hmm.
All I did was I spent $10 and bought gel polish at my house and my little $10 light. And I bought $20 magnetic lashes. And I taught myself how to do it. And I was able to save all that money all year to pay off all those debts that I had. And that's sometimes it's just something as little or as simple as that is taking the time to focus or teach yourself something. And no, we
Right.
don't have a bunch of time as adults, but you have 20 minutes to paint your nails and you have 10 minutes to put your lashes on. You can do those things. You can work that into your busy schedule.
Oh yeah, I had to make that sacrifice too, girl. I was paying like $120 every 2 weeks to get my toes and nails done and acrylic
Hmm.
nails. I cut that out. I do my own hair now, and I got press-ons.
Yeah.
I got my $6 press-ons and the glue, and I press my nails on, and I pocket the rest.
Yeah.
And it is, once I get to reach my saving goals, and I'm comfortable with my savings and my emergency fund, I might go back to, um, treat myself to get my nails done because we have those nail techs out there that need help, they need clients and they make a living on doing nails. So I give back. That's one of the ways I give back is going to local businesses and spending I would say my hard-earned money, my money to local businesses and people who want to do more with their craft. Um, but right now I have a goal that I'm going to save, so it's just cut out my budget for right now. But once I hit my savings goals, I might go back and treat
And y'all
myself because
remember when y'all do treat yourselves, go to those local people. Don't go to the big corporations. Put money in, the people in your area's mouths. Don't give it to the big corporations. And I'm not talking trash. I'm just saying, I would rather feed a family than feed
right.
a billionaire.
Right. That's somebody who's struggling doing things themselves. They're getting their business off the ground and they trying to
Mm-hmm.
um do their own thing. I support, small businesses. Yes. Those nail techs that's out there. You don't have to go to the big businesses. Those local businesses, they need help representing. If you want to represent, that's a good idea. I'll do that as well. But yeah, girl. So another thing I want to talk about is just to touch base on briefly is investing for your future. So you want to keep that in mind to allocate some resources to grow wealth over time because investments can um be there for you as part of building wealth. Like, having assets like stocks and bonds, real estate, mutual funds, that retirement plans, the 401k. You want to have a retirement. You want to keep that in mind because just think about it. We're all not going to work into, we're 100. I know I don't want to be 100
Mm-mm.
years old trying to, work 40 hours a week. That's just not in my plan.
No,
And
no, not mine either.
not trying to do that. I'm trying to retire at 50. If I can retire at 50 and not have to punch nobody clock after that, then yeah, that's where my goal is So you want to just keep that in mind that there are investment plans out there. I mean, investment is a big part of wealth building, and they do have some plans out there. So if you want to start, and it's never too late, you guys, um, to start thinking about retirement, your retirement. You should start thinking about that right now if you don't already have a
Mhm.
plan into place. What you're going to do for retirement? Because I guarantee you right now, Social Security, if it's still available, it is not going to be that much. You're not going to
Mhm.
be um to be able to. I'm not going to say you're not going to be able to support yourself, but it's not going to be enough unless you enjoy eating bologna
Mm-mm.
sandwiches, which I don't want to retire and have to eat a bologna sandwiches every day. So you want to think about your retirement. You want to think
Mhm.
now about budgeting and saving. So instead of buying $300 Jordans, um, get you some Felines. I ain't gonna say Felines. Felines was back in the day. You remember we was in high school? Did you have a pair of Felines in the back of the day?
Look,
I'm surprised that came to my head. I know
I
Felines
had
is not in.
Fila,
Don't come for me because I know Felines is not in right now. I know that. But back in the
but they
day,
were when we were growing up.
yeah, when we was in high school, everybody had a pair of Felines.
You started school every year with a pair of Filas and a pair of classic Reeboks. That's just how it
Oh,
works.
Reeboks
And
yes.
now they sell Reeboks right at Walmart.
I used to love for me a pair of Reeboks.
I started
But
every school year
now,
with classic Reeboks.
yes, but now you couldn't even wear your Reeboks now because people laugh at you. But just saying, back in the day, when I was in school, you had you a pair of Felines and Reeboks, and New
Mhm.
Balances was the other good shoe.
Yep.
But anyway, I'm just saying, don't do excessive spending. You want to take, cut that in half, get you a cheaper shoe. Take $100 if you have 100, or you can afford a budget, $100 a month, and put that aside for your retirement plan. You can get a retirement policy um, out there, and if you need help, you want to learn more information about that, just let me know. I would definitely, go into it more details with you one on one if you need to. But yes, get you a retirement plan. Think about don't X out investing for the future. That's what I want to say. Don't X it out, even though you're not me, because like I'm not too big on stocks and bonds. Like I said, I know a lot of I know a little bit about buying stocks and bonds and investments. I want to learn more, but I do know enough that it is a good um way to build for the future. So just keep that in mind. Even if you don't know a lot about it, just know that it's available and out there. Um, Also, you want to, for all my parents out there, don't forget about saving for education, saving for college, because you want to start early with saving for college and setting up your child's future because you don't want them. I know I don't want my son, so I'm just saying I don't about student loans. Cause listen, I got hellified student loans out there, and that is hovering over my head. Like, what I'm gonna do with these ongoing student loans? So, what I want to do with my son is to set him up so he will have to not have to, take out student loans at all. Luckily, hopefully, um, but
Are you going to
cut
talk to
that.
him about those $300 shoes he wears too?
Yeah, girl, I don't buy them shoes no more. I had already talked to him about cutting that out the budget. Listen, we're
Yeah, but
not.
his granny will buy them.
They ain't coming out of my budget. I'ma just say that. My budget is set up for no Jordans. Like we're not doing this. You can get some Crocs, some Uggs, slides. I can, and he's into that
Taylor's.
now. He's really into his Crocs and his Ugg slides. So I ain't even got to worry about buying Jordans no more because he didn't jumped on that Croc wave and he got to have his Crocs. So unless he want to buy like 20 pair of Crocs, so he's good. I can budget the Crocs all day long. But yes, those excessive spending habits, you got to cut them out, especially when you want to get focused. And want everybody to start thinking about this going into the new year too, because you want to get a game plan, and it's a perfect time to go ahead and budget and have a game plan set up. So that's that momentum at the beginning of the year. You got the New Year's, you got your New Year's resolutions. Use that as a momentum or to inspire you to go ahead and set you a budget, get you a goal savings plan, and just work on it throughout the year. And even if you fumble and um,
Mm.
a little bit, or you have a week where you just got so much going on you can't save, don't beat yourself up about it, but just don't quit. Just say, okay, I'm gonna set this pay period out. Can't save, but you know what? I'm not gonna let it get me down. Next pay period, I'm gonna go harder, and we're gonna save, work to save. Just don't quit. You just keep going. So you will have those moments where you can't save like you want to, or you have to get off a budget. Fine, just take those hills as they come, but just don't quit. You just want to keep moving forward, but you don't want to quit. Um, and I'm going to end on savings and budgeting with like for those couples out there. You want to, you got a family, you together, got your husband, wife, your would you say, Amanda, your life partner,
My life
partner in life,
partner.
yeah, your partner in life.
Yes, that's what I
You
call mine, my life partner.
Yes, you want to go ahead and make sure you're discussing financing together. You want to be on the same page as well as with your goals. So you have those shared goals, so you want to be on the same page and with achieving them. Um, Establish clear financial goals, saving for the home, education, vacations, working together to create that um, budget and make sure that it aligns, your objectives align together. So uh, make sure y'all cutting out, you know, things together. You don't want to be like the one like now with my ex. I'm just gonna talk about me for a second. I know, Amanda, you can chime in a little bit, but I know with my ex used to do his own thing, you know, spending on the side. They don't want to contribute to the household, and then it makes, you know, a burden on the finances when you have one more than the other pulling, you know, going for savings and having a saving budget, but your significant other is out here wilding, spending the check before it gets into the household. You don't
Mm-hmm.
want to do that. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure you're on the same page. And if you are in a situation like that, you probably need to reevaluate your situation because your finances need to be on one
Well,
accord.
I want to just add one tiny little thing onto that. Like, y'all, we not 15 no more. We're not 20.
Right.
We're not 25. We grown. Accountability has to come into place somewhere. It's not cute if you with a dude and every time y'all get a little bit of money in the bank, he want to start a new business. Like that ain't cute, man. You
Right.
know, he want to all of a sudden last week he was going to open a car wash and now y'all got some money, he going to open a landscape business. Man, no. Y'all stop dealing with these people that do stuff. That deal with people that add to the savings.
Right.
And
Y'all
if they're
have to
not adding
be
to the
same
savings, they're not
mindset.
adding to the future.
Yeah. You're not on the
And
same
that's what it
mindset.
comes. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Like either we gonna build a future together, or I'm gonna build one alone, and I'm gonna reap the benefits from it.
Right.
Period.
Get on. Get on through because I can save and I can reap the benefits of my saving plan and my
Mhm.
budget. And I'll make sure that, you know, it's an account where I only have access to it so I know you ain't spurging or running through it. Because,
Mhm.
girl, they will drive you crazy. And if you're not on the same mindset, you will not be hitting the same goals. And it's just going to be a financial headache. So you want to make sure
Right.
you are discussing your financing. Y'all all on the same page. I have some shared goals. Um, so can do it together. If y'all gonna be together, that's one of the things y'all have to be on the same mindset with.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you say that because, ooh, child, that ex of mine had put me through it.
Yeah.
So,
Same.
yes, girl, let's on a lighter note. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about some ways we can um make this coin. Um,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
get
How
some
do how do
side
we set up?
hustles.
How do we set up some extra money? Because these day and age, your jobs only pay your bills.
Right. These days and age, you need more than one uh income stream to survive.
Mm-hmm.
That one income household where the father work and the mom stays home and raise the family. Girl, I
Those
mean, you
days are
could.
gone.
They're gonna do these are far
Mm-mm.
gone
They're
unless
gone.
unless daddy got a really good job. But average, we both need to be working. We both need to have some side hustles. We both need to have
Mm-hmm.
some multiple streams of income coming in so we can live like we're comfortable. Because at the end of the day, we just need to be comfortable. But you can't be comfortable nowadays with just one income. So I'm gonna talk to you right now about some passive income ways that you can make some income to have a side hustle. You can have your 9 to 5, and you can that's steady. It's good. I don't knock nobody who try to have a 9 to 5 and a side hustle, because sometimes that steady income, that steady check every 2 weeks or every week, however you get paid, is something that you need to count on. But you
Mm-hmm.
got to have flexibility. You want to have flexibility with your finances and your income sources. So some passive income ideas you can, if you're into real estate, you can do some real estate. Get your real estate license. Check with your state. It's the course is not that much, around $500-600. You can have your real estate license, and you can do some real estate part time on the side. You can do some property manager, gets you some property rentals, Airbnbs. I do have some information as well, but there's gonna be a abundance of information out on the website. So make sure I'm gonna let you know when I get all of that out there and available coming the beginning of the year. I'm going to be sharing a lot with you guys, but have you some Airbnbs? Those are really good right now. A lot of people are tapping into that industry for that extra income because we have those families that's going on vacation. They don't want to rent the hotels because it's such a headache to rent a hotel now. So Airbnb
Mm-hmm.
is really good right now. So you can have those real estate investments. You can either, if you got creative mind, you can create digital products such as ebooks, online courses, some photographs. There's a lot of things you can do, and sell those online. You got digital. You got Etsy. Etsy's a big platform where you can make stuff and sell online and make some sales. Hit up your local flea market, and sell some things. So you can have that as a passive income idea. I know affiliate marketing is out there, where you can promote products for other companies like or services, and they pay you like a commission on how many sales you help them generate. Usually, you'll get like a referral link that you share with your friends, families, or strangers, or social media. You share this referral link. They'll click on it. Whoever clicks on it and buys from your link, you'll get a paid a commission. So that's passive income. There's the other doubling back with selling products. You can do drop shipping. Drop shipping, you don't have to touch the inventory, have inventory or touch it. You can get it from the supplier to ship it directly, fulfill it and ship it directly to your customers, and you just keep the difference as a profit. So you can look into drop shipping as a passive income as well. So there's different ways out there to have passive income. Is basically whatever you like to do, or if you have a hobby, you can pretty much turn it into a passive income stream so you can get that coin, girl.
Right.
So you
Right. Well, and there's so many different side hustles and things out there these days. You just got to find what fits best for you and your
right.
lifestyle. I do a lot
Mhm.
of freelance writing on the side. There are thousands of websites that pay you to write content for them. There's
Mhm.
also, you can do like freelance editing. Depending
It's
on how
a
much you like to read. There's so many different things you can do for side hustles. Now, passive income is typically income that you don't have to touch, like the drop shipping and the real estate and
mhm.
stuff like that. So, those are really good ideas as long as you have the credit and the finances up front to support those ideas. So, but if you're just getting started with some kind of, side hustle or passive income, I know that Yang, not Yang, Yang knows a bunch of information about some different things that you could do. Um, Unless it has
Oh
something to
yeah.
do with writing, editing, or podcasts. Ying kind of stays out of that stuff. Y'all just
Yeah.
call Yang. Y'all get with her.
Yes.
She's our wealth management.
And stay
So
tuned to the end of the podcast because I'm going to drop some good information if you want to learn more about passive income ideas and how to get started. So, yes, I do. That's my look, my cup of tea, I should say.
it's her niche.
Niche. There go the word I was looking for. Yes. So, passive income is definitely ways out there, and it's good to see that you do need to have um good decent credit to get do like you said to do the real estate and stuff. There are ways. I was going to say there are different grants and stuff that you can get out to help you start a passive income or a side hustle or a small business, and I can touch base on that as well if you want to know more information about the grants and stuff that's available. But yeah, there are ways to get going even if you don't have the credit or the finances to get going. If you really dedicated to getting it or you really want to do it, there is a way. You know how that old saying go, where there's a will, there's a way. Um,
Yep.
that's basically it. If there's you have a will enough and you determination enough to do it, there is a way to get it done.
But that's the key. You got to do it. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to
Right.
own an Airbnb and I'm going to get some money from it. You got to put in the work.
You
And
gotta
it's work,
hustle.
y'all.
It's a
Yeah.
way. It's a reason why they call it a side hustle because girl, you gonna be hustling. You got to hustle. It ain't gonna fall in your lap. That's for sure. Well, I'm glad you spoke on about credit. Credit is a really um necessary tool to have, and I wish that so many of us growing up. I know when I was fresh out of high school, I wish people had a told me about credit. I wish they'd talk about credit in high school too, and
They
not how
absolutely should.
they
And I've
should,
written
cause
multiple courses for teachers to try to do that, and none of them ever do it because you can't get approval from the school board for things like that. But I think that honestly, they should teach them credit and how to balance their accounts, like checkbooks and things like that, before you ever leave school because these kids are out here going crazy in college with credit cards and student loans.
girl, I
And
wish
then
I had
coming out
known.
30 years old, well, I say 30, coming out of, college 24 years old, already 100K in debt.
Girl, I I've been through it. In my early 20s, when I started getting them credit cards, I was all willy nilly, all in, So
Swipe.
remember, Circuit City was back in the day. I'm bringing up all these. I'm dropping name bombs. You can tell.
You showing your age. You about to talk
Yeah,
about Blockbuster too.
I was just about to say that. Really showing my age. Honestly, you remember Circuit City? That was
I
one
do.
of my first store credit cards I had was from Circuit City. You
Radio
couldn't tell
Shack
me
had one of
nothing.
them bad boys too.
Girl, that and Fingerhut was like my first one. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was just getting stuff. I was just out there buying it, and it was like sending me a bill. Oh, I really gotta pay it back. Okay.
Oh man, I gotta get a job. Yeah, but that's how all of us were because nobody taught
Right.
us about credit.
Right, because they didn't, and you would think, and they really made it so where you thought you was getting a dynamite deal. Like, oh, I only gotta pay back $5 a month. I can afford that, and that's how they reel you in to apply for it. Because you be like, oh, your payments is only gonna be, $5 a month or $10 a month, and you thinking, hey, I'm getting some money. My little
Meanwhile,
job
that
in
five,
20.
$10 a month is only covering your interest on that credit
Right.
card.
You don't know about interest, and you don't. 2 years down the line, your interest is more than that CD player you done charged, and
Hmm.
you wonder why you done probably brought that thing 3 times over, and you
Yep.
still got to pay it off, and you was like, "What did I get myself into?" And a lot of people just let it go. It's like, okay, it's just gonna be on my credit, not thinking that it's really gonna mess you up in the long run, and when you are mature enough and you want to settle down and you go out to make that big purchase like your house or your car and they looking at you like well, you do got this credit card on here from Circuit City and that is all messed up and it got your credit all messed up. Then you wondering why you can't purchase the house and then you have to go and do credit repair just to get the things you want.
And I just wanted to say real quick because we do have somebody in Facebook comments. Miss Reed said that she completely agrees with us. Credit most definitely should have been talked about in school. And she's Miss Reed's a little bit younger than me, but that just goes to show that it's not just our generation. It's not just something that happened to the people that are in their, mid to late 30s. It happened to people that are still in their 20s. I mean, it's
Right.
happening to teenagers. My stepson, when he was in school, I'm just now able to start teaching him about credit because it was never talked about to him. And I mean, it's not, he wasn't in my household long term or anything like that. So it's not like I could talk to him about that then, but he's just now starting to learn about it and he's coming from a good place. He didn't have a bunch of time to mess it up yet, which is great.
Yeah, that's really great.
But the flip side to that is now he has to build without messing it up.
And that's the thing.
That's the hard part because, now that he knows that credit's out there and that he can use it for something, everybody gets a little trigger happy,
Oh yeah, everybody. When I first
But when you do mess
got
it
out
up, like,
there,
what do you do? What are your options? Like
work
I don't know about
hard.
other people. I can't speak on other people's, but when I realized that I had screwed my credit up, and I didn't screw my credit up bad, I didn't do credit cards, like a whole bunch of credit cards. I had a couple, but I paid them. Where I screwed up my credit is medical bills the first time I had to go through cancer. So medical bills, my first round of chemo, I came out of pocket like 22 grand that year.
Oh wow.
And so all of my credit cards fell behind, all of my bills fell behind. Half of my salary that year was medical bills. So that's when things kind of fell behind for me. And I contemplated bankruptcy so many times because I didn't know what my options were because people don't. When you go to somebody and you're like, hey, my credit's screwed. I can't get a car. I can't get a house. There's nothing I can do. Nobody told me about the options that you taught me about. I know you're going to talk about it, but nobody had taught me about those options. So it's like the knowledge isn't even out there for people to know that there's ways to fix it.
There are ways to fix your credit now, but I want to be big on being proactive, knowing and understanding credit enough so you don't mess it up.
Right.
And that's what I want to do for my son as well. Like, listen, I want him to, when he graduates from high school, to know how important his credit is or keeping a good credit line, because I wish somebody had did that for me, because where I went wrong at being too nice and co-signing for everybody. You want to co-sign for a car? I'm being nice. Okay, we're dating and I can co-sign. Then
If
next
you're
you
not
know,
family, don't call me on that. Like, no. If you're not like, and even with family, you got to be careful. Because you never know. It could be your closest sister, man. Like, it could be your brother. It could be your sister-in-law. Man, it could be your mother. Sitting around co-signing for people if you're not absolutely positive, because you also got to think that once you co-sign for that person, what happens when your car goes out? Who gonna co-sign for you?
Not a soul.
You got to be able to make sure you can get a car, that you can get that loan. If you co-sign on somebody else's house, what happens when you want your own house? You just gonna move in with that person? Because that's gonna be your
They
only
don't tell
option.
you, and that's what
You
people
can't
don't
get multiples.
understand. They don't tell you all of the, the small print stuff. That if you co-sign for things like you said, co-sign for somebody else to get a car, get a house, that you can't go, you can't go and get it for yourself.
Yeah, because then
And
you would have to prove you have the income to pay for 2 vehicles.
right, and I know in my early 20s, I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't even thinking about settling down and buying a house, and And somebody, you dating somebody, they come to you, oh, can you co-sign? I need a car. I got good credit. Sure, I can help you out. Go down there and co-sign them, but now they done screwed you over. Your credit's messed up, and you don't know that it's gonna stick
So
with
they
you for
messed up
like,
your credit and your heart. That's what
yeah,
happens.
credit and your heart is down the trash, and you stuck with it for 7 years because it's got to sit there and you got to look at it because it ain't going nowhere. It ain't gonna drop off. I mean, now you can fix it to where you can have it removed and
Mm-mm.
stuff, but it's gonna cost you and go through a whole bunch of headaches and stuff. But like you gotta think about it. People don't tell you that going in. Like if they screw you over, you got that's a 7 year gonna attach to my hip. Almost like having a child. You gotta raise. That's when you have a baby. You got to consider that you're gonna have that expense
Not
that
to
child
mention,
till he's
there can
18.
be criminal prosecuting for some situations. Like, let's say you co-sign for, okay, I'm gonna use your example that you gave, Yang. You co-sign for a dude. So let's say that dude messes around and they say, hey, you ain't paid on the car in 3 months. We're coming to repossess it. And he goes and hides the car. They can prosecute you criminally, both you and him, for that car being hidden, even though you might not know where it is.
Oh yeah, they can do that. And or if he doesn't pay it and now they're coming after you. You don't have the money. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have the car, but you're next thing you know you're getting debt collection notices, you get an attorney cuz now you got attorney involved. They're going to file suit. Now you got your wages being garnished. And
Yep.
it's a whole bunch of stuff that they don't even tell you. But that person, they either got the car or got rid of the car. They MIA, got them broke up, and now you're stuck with all this headache. But they're living their best life because they don't
Right.
care, and you're taking all the heat for it. But now you got to go to court for charges that they have ran up on your credit. But you got to go and settle with a debt collector, or you got to have your wages garnished, and you ain't even get the benefit of driving the dang on car.
Right. You didn't even get to play in it or go hang out in it or nothing because it was somebody else's car.
But you got to pay for it. Like, no, you're not gonna garnish my wages, but they have legal right to. But you're sitting there like, how the hell I'm got my wages garnished for a car I co-sign on. I ain't even drive it. My ass ain't sit in it. I ain't got no. And you don't even got the car. Don't know where that person is or the car is. But you in court trying to settle a debt and keep
Mm-hmm.
you from going under or bankrupt because you was too nice and co-signed for somebody. See, they
Mm-hmm.
don't tell you that going in. You just think you're doing a good deed and you trust the person enough to do that. And it's good if you trust and if that person is trustworthy enough and they pay their bills on time and y'all have an understanding. But some people they just like see that as a way out or the way to use you to get what they want because they didn't mess their credit up. But you got to think about who you co-signing for. Are they responsible enough? Because why do they need a co-sign in the first place? Because they weren't
Right.
responsible enough for their credit, so now they need a co-sign. So you got to take all of that into consideration as well when you decide to do things like that. But you have to be educated enough about your credit to know exactly what you're getting into because that person, I guarantee you, will make it sound like a really good deal. But
Oh, absolutely.
you got to know the ins and outs before you sign your name because once you sign your name,
Done.
girl, girl, you didn't sign your soul over. Your credit is your soul. It's part of your soul. So you didn't sign your soul over to, like you said, you sign your
So keep
soul.
yourself a positive soul number, guys. Positive soul numbers is what we're working on, okay?
Your credit is your lifeline. Let me tell you. In your early 20s, you don't think about credit. You thinking about going clubbing, partying, hanging out with your friends, getting your credit cards, getting that flashy new car, your flashy new clothes, and you living your best life. You ain't thinking about your credit. You ain't thinking about your credit score You ain't thinking about none of that. You ain't thinking about trying to buy a house, trying to settle down. You ain't thinking about how heavy your credit is going to be when you want something that you ain't
Right.
got the money to buy. Either you're going to have the cash to buy it or you need credit. And nowadays, I don't really know too many people who have $2.5 million sitting in their bank account to where they can buy everything they want to buy. So you're going
And
to
if
have
y'all
your
do know
credit.
that person, tell them to call me.
Right. Call me too.
We got some investment opportunities we can discuss.
Right. So you want to, the moral of this story is you got to and you want to establish and keep a positive credit history, positive, be credit worthiness. And if you got somebody who ain't credit worthiness, you need to take another step back, reevaluate your situation before you sign or be a co-signer to that person, because if they wasn't credit worthiness to keep up with their own credit, then 9 out of 10 times they don't care about your credit.
Right.
So you want to make sure and monitor your credit. Don't be scared. It's your credit. I know some of these companies out here, they want to charge you this and that, just to look at your credit report and stuff, but you have the right to know what's on your credit, to know your score, and monitor that thing. So you know what's going on with your credit. Don't be going out there in the blind. No, be accountable for your credit accounts, your payment history, and your outstanding. All of that. Just make sure you stay on top of it. So something pop up or something's out the ordinary, and you see some change that's not, you can be on top of it. Don't wait until you ready
Mm-hmm.
to go buy a house or buy a car and have them people pull your credit. Then you gonna ask the prize because you done seen accounts or something on your credit you ain't got nothing know, you don't know nothing about. Don't be that person. You're gonna need to
Right.
monitor your credit, know what's on your credit, pull your credit report, and every year, if not more than once a year, you should be pulling your credit report to know what's on it, to see where it's going. Make sure you stay in good positive credit history. So
Okay.
yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about credit. Just know that, so you won't make the mistakes. I'm just be trying to tell people that so they won't make the same mistakes I did about credit. Cause I
Right.
wish somebody had let me know.
Right. In a positive way, I
In a
remember hearing
positive way.
people say, oh, don't mess your credit up. But I didn't know what that meant.
Mhm.
Like, I thought that by getting credit cards, I was building credit. But you're only building credit if you have the means and the income to actually pay the payments back.
On time.
Right. Without hesitation, without missing a payment. Because
Or
one
not
missed payment
charging.
will mess you up so much more than just not having anything.
Or that utilization. People don't tell you about this utilization with the credit cards and all. They give you a credit card and give you $1,000 credit limit. You think, oh, I'm balling. I can spend up to $1,000. Technically, you can, but they don't understand that if you do spend up to your $1,000 limit, that looks bad on you. That looks bad on your credit.
Mm-hmm.
You have to keep your utilization down so you can be in good standing and you can build your points up and have that high credit score. It's not that you have that, it's good that you have a limit, because if that emergency come up, then you have access to use that money to for that emergency. But keep in mind that that high utilization will damage your score more than not paying that and not paying your bills on time. Both
Right.
will damage and drop your scores, versus helping your scores. Even if you paying your payments on time every month, if you have a high utilization on your credit, then that's hurting you as well. So people, I don't think people are a lot of people know the ins or out about the credit. And
Mm-mm.
that's
Not
another
at all.
thing that I do with my stable wealth as well, is educate people about building wealth, not only about building wealth, but about their credit, so they can know fully the ins and outs of their credit and how to establish and maintain good credit. because that,
Okay.
like I said, that credit is having good credit is your lifeline. I don't
So you're
want
saying that there's a way to help rebuild the credit or repair the credit, and that's one of the services that you offer, right?
correct. Yes. So
Awesome.
I'm going to end. I know we're getting close to 12, so I'm just gonna wrap up a little
Okay.
bit by talking about my stable wealth. I'm gonna let you
And for
this
those of you who haven't followed us prior to tonight or have just jumped on, My Stable Wealth is Yang's company. This is a company that she owns, that she runs. Um, Occasionally she'll help her with a little bit of marketing materials, but this is fully her company and it's something she's been working on for a really long time. So go ahead, Sheena. Sorry.
No, you're perfectly fine. I love the little shout out, little tidbit. But yeah, we're dedicated to helping your financials be successful financially and securing that wealth for generations. I'm big on building generational wealth, getting your finances in order. So basically, like the name say, my stable wealth. We want to be stable in your wealth building and stable in your finances, and that's what I'm. Part of the mission is with my stable wealth is to help you with that stability in your finances, protecting your asset, building your wealth, planning for savings, planning for a comfortable retirement. That's all very important and needs to be talked about, needs to keep you on the forefront. You don't want to wait until you're, um, 65 and a half and, oh, let's talk about retirement. No, it's a little too late to talk about retirement when you're 65, but you want to, be educated enough to start planning and know and talk about. It's not taboo. A lot of people, don't want to talk about finances. So I'm trying to, with my stable wealth, is remove that taboo. Let's talk about our finances. Let's get a hold of it. It's not not incriminating to talk about. When you want to talk about wealth, you want to really get a hold of the knowledge behind making those what I'm trying to say. I lost my train of thought.
Well,
Getting in those
let me,
positive
with
decisions.
me
Go
and
ahead.
your generation, and I don't know why this happened, but with me and your generation, it became this thing of like, you don't talk about your finances with other people. And we got to remove that factor, y'all. I don't need to know how much money you make exactly. I don't, but we can talk about finances as grown people and move forward and help each other out.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Sheena does is she helps you build that. But you can't go to her and say, hey man, I need some help with this and this and this, but I don't want to tell you nothing about my finances. How's she gonna help you then? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you don't have to put your finances on Facebook or blast it out there for the whole world, but you need to know enough about finances to where you can make educated decisions. And that's what
Right.
I'm here with my stable wealth, is to educate so you can make educated decisions about your finances. Um so with the services that I do offer life insurance policies. I do offer retirement plans, health insurance. I do have launching at the end of this month, I will say the beginning of the year, credit repair services as well as bookkeeping services. And I do wealth coaching. I call it wealth coaching. I do coaching. How I build coach you through savings and budgeting techniques. I help you with your goals if you have any type of goals that you want to reach with your finances. I do offer coaching where I help you get on track and set those goals and then be there with you um, through the steps to achieve those goals. I am beginning of the year as well. So I had a surprise for you. Beginning of the year as well, as part of my stable wealth, we'll be launching a membership site called Invested Minds, and it's
Okay.
basically like a learning academy where I'll have courses. I have one-on-one coaching sessions. I will be doing some group coaching sessions as well, and I will have a abundance of information, digital downloads that you can have access to if you're a part of the membership site. Also on my website as mystablewealth.com, there will be digital downloads available for purchase. Also, I'll be having those self-paced courses, live courses, classroom courses where I teach you on a lot of different topics about wealth building. Everything wealth building, finances will be a part of Invested Minds, where we um, want to teach our community. I want to teach the community to be responsible decision making with their credit, their finances,
Okay.
building that generational wealth, and just being stable. Stabilize your wealth, stabilize your mind, and that's what we need to stay positive and keep moving forward.
So I have a question for those of
Yeah.
you that don't know, or, like for instance, our Twitch viewers, our YouTube viewers, they're not on our Facebook as often, things like that. What is the best ways to get a hold of you to start talking about these things?
Yes, you can I am available. Let me grab I am available on you can go out to my website. I do have a website, mystablewealth.com. You can there's a contact us on the website. If you send me a message, you can send me an email, um, info at mystablewealth.com.
Okay.
You can also call me. You can call me or text me at 803-856-8141, and I'll answer your questions. And also, I'm available to set up one-on-one sessions as well. And if you have questions, if you want to have questions, want to talk about wealth, I do free consultations. I also
Okay.
um, offer my services if you want to talk about life insurance plans, retirement plans, get educated on that, or you want to purchase a policy, it gets set up with a policy. Talk to me about that. I don't charge to talk to you about any of my services that I offer. I don't charge. Um, if you want to have a conversation or want to learn more information about the services or the policies that you can get to help establish that wealth, generational wealth, or any setup for retirement as well. I don't charge for any of that, and I can schedule a time. We can do it virtually. I do all of my appointments virtually or on the phone or virtual over like Zoom or Google Meets. But yes, you can reach me on my website or the phone
And guys,
numbers.
when we post that everything's been uploaded, I will make sure that her contact info is also uploaded across the board also.
Right.
So if all else fails, I'll make sure that you can get that directly from Yin Yang the podcast page so you can reach out to Sheena about these things. Is there any
Yes.
last things you want to add, Sheena?
Yes, I do. I want y'all to come shout me out. Follow me on Facebook. I on Facebook. My Stable Wealth is on Facebook. Go out there and follow my page. At Stable Wealth Services is on Facebook. I just launched My Stable Wealth Services on Instagram as well. But if you go out to social media, I know on Yin Yang the podcast, I'll post all of the links so you can follow me on social media as well. And also, you'll see that I'm launching this month a group, a Facebook group where you can go and learn. I will be dropping tips, tricks about savings, budgeting, a lot of information. So you want to follow the group as well, the Stable Wealth Warriors group. And that will be out on Yin Yang's page too. The link to join the group as well, so you can get all the inside track.
All right. Well, if y'all run into any questions, I just did a double check on all the chats and we didn't have any current questions.
Okay.
But if y'all have any questions, please reach out. If anything does come into Yin Yang's email box for Sheena, I will make sure it gets to her. If you send me a private message on my page and it's about something she can help you with, I will make sure she gets it. So please don't hesitate to contact me either. I will forward it over to her immediately so she can get in touch with you. And so until next week, and just so y'all know, there are going to be a couple things that come out this week, like the watch winner. I am going to post that tomorrow at some point. So y'all will see the watch winner get posted tomorrow and then a couple of other little updates. But watch for all of our contacts to come through tomorrow so you can see Sheena's information everywhere. Until then, we are two people,
Two
two
opinions,
opinions, real
real
talk.
talk.
Y'all
Good
have a great
night.
night.